The Pittsburgh Steelers have hired Arthur Smith to be their next offensive coordinator, and today I'm here to answer your questions on the new Steelers OC or whatever other questions that you have regarding the Pittsburgh Steelers. So make sure you guys click that subscribe button if you haven't already to join the most interactive Steelers community here on the YouTube platform, 100% free. And with that, I'll pause and open it up for questions, starting with TC Mosley. Sends in a $5 super chat, says, saw rumors of Mike Munchak attached to Smith. If Mike comes back, it's worth it. Our best offensive line play was when he was a Steeler. Absolutely. Mike Munchak, it was reported that he is a package deal with Arthur Smith, so it looks like he will be returning to the Pittsburgh Steelers. And what I'll say about that rumor, and what if that rumor is true, it tells me one really big thing about Arthur Smith. All right, Mike Munchak respects the hell out of him enough to where he's saying the only coach I'm coaching for is Arthur Smith. All right, what does that say about Arthur Smith? It means that he's a good leader. It means he treats his staff well. It means that he's a great offensive mind. Mike Munchak knows what he's doing, and he knows a great offensive mind when he sees one. And the fact that he's attached himself to Arthur Smith should be a good sign for Steelers fans all across this country. Next one from Big Ben 2493. What's up, my man? Says QB rankings of your ideal QBs with Smith now. So number one would be Justin Fields. I think Justin Fields in this QB-friendly system could absolutely ball out. Now, that's probably not going to happen. The Steelers keep saying they're going to go with Kenny Pickett, so I believe them. Number two, Ryan Tannehill right now. I think that he's been a really good quarterback in this system. He knows how to operate it well. And although he hasn't played all that well in Tennessee these past few years, they changed up the offense. It wasn't an Arthur Smith offense, and it showed because he had a big dip in production. I think he could be a really good backup option for Kenny Pickett here in 2024. All right, so now let me know down there in the comments section, who do you want to be the Steelers QB1 in 2024? Do you want it to be Justin Fields? Do you want it to be Kenny Pickett? Do you want it to be Mason Rudolph, Ryan Tannehill? Let me know down there in the comments section who you want to be the next QB1 of the Pittsburgh Steelers for today's pinned comment. Next question comes from She Love Tay. And she says, how do you feel about Jordan Travis meeting with the Steelers? So listen, the Steelers are going to meet with a lot of players here over these next several months. Jordan Travis is an intriguing guy because he's got high-end physical upside, really good athlete, but on tape, he's just not a good mental processor. Decision-making is definitely so-so. So I definitely think he's going to be a later-round quarterback if the Steelers want to take a chance on a lottery ticket there in like the 5th, 6th round. Maybe Jordan Travis is an option for you. Then we got one from Matthew Pope here, $5 super chat. Says, Kenny showed us he doesn't turn the ball over and wins games at the end. I see him having a jump year. And listen, man, Kenny does have some of these little things that make you optimistic for his future. He played his best football when the game was on the line throughout his career, right? He's had some of the most game-winning drives of any quarterback ever in his first 2 seasons starting, right? So there's that in his favor. And then also, I think he was number 1 in turnover-worthy play percentage on passers with at least 200 pass attempts last year. So he's really good at protecting the football, and he's good in the fourth quarter. So listen, if Arthur Smith can get Kenny Pickett to play well enough, say like a Ryan Tannehill level there in Tennessee, absolutely, this team could win playoff games, in my opinion, with Kenny Pickett as their quarterback. But it's definitely going to be a narrow road because Kenny Pickett definitely showed some struggles in his first 2 seasons. Then we got one from Kermit is my God, $2 super chat. Says, Darnell Washington, breakout year? Maybe. Darnell is definitely not a good receiver, or at least he wasn't in 2023. Now, Arthur Smith loves him some tight ends that can block, and that's what Darnell does really, really well. So I cannot wait to see what Darnell Washington looks like in this offense moving forward. I'd expect that he has a very big role in this offense moving forward, and hopefully he can develop as a wide receiver. So now, do me a favor right now. Click that subscribe button if you want to join the most interactive Steelers community here on YouTube. We just passed our biggest competitor for the largest Steelers talk show on YouTube. So thank you guys so much for making that happen. We couldn't be here without you guys. We've grown so much over the last 12 months or so. So if you want to have your voice heard on the show, these mailbags are perfect for that. Make sure you click that subscribe button right now. Then we got a $2 super chat from Omar's Burner. Says, A.J. Brown for Diontae Johnson. Now, we all know that A.J. Brown and the Eagles' relationship is kind of so-so. All right, so, and they didn't fire Nick Sirianni. So if AJ's issue is with Sirianni, the head coach, then I think it's possible that he asks for a trade. And if that's the case, Omar Khan has a connection to the Philadelphia Eagles. They'd probably get the first call. And A.J. Brown was a superstar in Arthur Smith's offense in 2020 and 2019. If the Steelers have the opportunity to trade Diontae Johnson and their second-round pick or even their first-round pick in exchange for A.J. Brown, I think they're going to jump at the opportunity. Then we got one from Just Webb's World 1. He says, Mims, Amarius Mims, Jackson Powers Johnson, or Tyler Guyton, which one of these linemen would you want the Steelers to primarily target? So listen, man, I love Jackson Powers Johnson there from Oregon. He is awesome. He is strong. He is big. He plays with good technique. He pancakes people, and he can move extremely well, which is definitely something that Arthur Smith is going to be looking for. All right, these outside zone run schemes, they require people to move off the ball with both intent, with speed, and with power. Jackson Powers Johnson does that better than any center in this year's draft class. If he's available at number 20, I think he's going to be one of the top draft targets for the Pittsburgh Steelers in the first round in 2024. So do me a favor right now, check out our friends at Fanatics, and they're currently selling this awesome TJ Watt T-shirt at sale prices right now because it's the offseason, and that's when Fanatics has their best deals. So take advantage of that right now. If you believe in TJ Watt as one of the best defenders, not only in Steelers history, but NFL history, you can add this awesome TJ Watt T-shirt there for a very low price. Just go to chatsports.com/TJ. Use our link for a fantastic price on this awesome Steelers T-shirt. Then we got one from Mimic Tarzier 235 here. He says, I don't know how bad he was in Atlanta, but didn't Arthur not use Bijan or Pitts correctly? So I would say this right now. I didn't think Kyle Pitts was a good fit for that offense, all right? He's just not. He's more of almost like a pseudo big slot receiver. He's not a great blocker, never really has been, and they tried to do that with him in this offense, and it just didn't work. Like, Arthur Smith has his system. He tries to put players in his system and make it work, but Kyle Pitts just wasn't the right fit for his offense. So, the Pittsburgh Steelers need to do a better job at getting him the right personnel to be able to make it work. And then Bijan Robinson, the way that he wasn't used correctly is that he kind of made it more of a share between him, Tyler Algier, Cordell Patterson, and the other running backs that they had there in Atlanta. People thought he should have been getting the ball more. They thought they should have been getting him the ball more as a receiver. And those are fair points, but at the same time, I do think that the personnel here in Pittsburgh with guys like George Pickens, Najee Harris, and Jalen Warren, and the tight ends they have here as well, are a much better fit for Arthur Smith. And then also the quarterback play, at least I'm hoping, is going to be a lot better in Pittsburgh than what he had in Atlanta. Then we got one from Jonathan Harvey. Says, should the Steelers ask Gerard Johnson to be the assistant offensive coordinator? Don't think he would take that job, to be honest with you. And I don't think Arthur Smith would want him to take that job. So, if you were a Gerard Johnson guy, you wanted him to be the guy here in Pittsburgh, looks like you might be out of luck. Then we got one from Atheria who says, hope Smith doesn't go idiotic Matt Russia on us. And listen, man, I do not think that this is going to be a Matt Canada level failure here in Pittsburgh. I think this offense is very structured. I think it's good for Kenny Pickett because he needs a very structured offense. I think it's good for the run game, especially bringing Mike Munchak back to coach the offensive line. The defense is going to do its thing. So I think this move allows the Pittsburgh Steelers to enforce their will on their opponents on both sides of the football, which is very exciting, at least for me as a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. Then we got a $5 super chat here from Jacob Wizerak, Gold Club member here. It says, with what Art said about wanting to win, especially in the playoffs, why not go get a Fields? Love the Steelers, but they can be too loyal sometimes. And I 100% agree with you, Jacob. I think Justin Fields would be a slam dunk, grand slam home run in this system. He's not going to have to go through heavy progression reads like he did in Chicago most of the time there with the Bears. It's very simple. He can run with the football. It gets him outside of the pocket. And, hopefully Arthur Smith would bring in the very creative running back or QB run game stuff that we've seen from teams like Buffalo, teams like Chicago, teams like Baltimore. And that would just be a match made in heaven, in my opinion. But it seems like they want to go with Kenny Pickett. They moved off of Matt Canada a year too late. It seems like they might be doing the same thing with Kenny Pickett this year. But listen, man, if he's going to succeed in any offense, I think it's going to be this one here with Arthur Smith. Then, now let me know down there in the comment section, what grade do you give the Arthur Smith hiring after me answering your questions today? Give me an A, a B, a C, a D, or an F down there in the comment section. Let me know how you're feeling about the Arthur Smith hiring. That'll be it for today's mailbag, guys. Thank you so much for all of your support. Make sure you click that subscribe button for me right now for all the latest Steelers news and rumors all throughout the 2024 offseason.